Hello, everybody. This is Stephen Whitfield, drilling contractor, and I am joined right now by Phil MacDonald, operations manager at Semco Maritime. We're going to be talking a little bit about the work that Semco Maritime is doing to help support the Noble Innovator Jackup, which is currently berthed at the Port of Aberdeen in the UK. Joining us from the UK, Phil, thank you so much for taking the time to speak with us.
No problem, Stephen. It's an absolute pleasure to meet you.
So the Jackup Noble Innovator is currently berthed at the Port of Aberdeen for a special periodic survey. And you guys have contracted to do some support work for that. Can you talk a little bit about some of that work that you guys are doing, and how is Simcoe Maritime helping to get this SPS, the survey, done in a short turnaround, as your company has said?
Yeah. So, like you said, we're helping along the way here. What Semco Maritime have done, along with the Port of Aberdeen, is we've ensured that the rig was able to come into the UK to have these works done. Now, the South Harbour development is a brand new harbour. I believe they spent in excess of £400 million to make this possible. So, as part of our contract there, we're assisting by, of course, we salt the berth, we set up the quaysides, access to the rig, and then parts of the work scopes that we're working with are the rebranding. Obviously, it used to be the Maersk Innovator. Now she's changed over to the Noble Innovator. So as part of that, the entire hull has had to go from the AP Molar colours to the Noble Grey, and also with the changeover in the name. On top of that, we've been doing upgrade work, fabric maintenance, facilitating any changes, quayside operations, and essentially working with Noble to make sure that we meet this 90-day deadline, which they have.
90 days, quick turnaround. Yeah. So let's talk a little bit about what this means for the Port of Aberdeen. Now, Simcoe Maritime said earlier that this is the first such project like this that you guys have seen in the port since the 70s. That's a long time ago. so,
Yeah,
so what's
yeah.
leading to this sort of revitalization? What's leading to the revitalization of this port? And how is this port attracting projects like this again?
Well, like I said previously, they've spent a lot of money to invest in the South Harbour development, and as part of that, the goal was to have a quaysides, to have the water depth to bring in rigs such as a CJ70 model. Um, Obviously, the CJ70 is a fantastically big beast. I would actually say it's an engineering marvel. Um, and what the Port of Aberdeen, by building this and having the vision to build this, is they've enabled the works to come to Aberdeen to stimulate that local economy, to help with the supply chain, and let's say a lot of the burdens that we faced in the industry over the last 10 to 12 years, a lot of those are getting pushed away because we're going to see more projects like this coming in. It was the first one of its kinds. Aberdeen worked fantastically well with the team here at Semco, as well as Noble, to go through your running simulation models, feasibility studies, and everything to make sure it happens. So it's a fantastic effort. Firstly, from Noble for trusting that we could go through this process, and secondly, between Port of Aberdeen and Semco to have the vision to make this happen.
Let's talk about the capabilities of the South Harbor. You're seeing the offshore industry gear up for a lot more activity all over the world. And there's been a lot of work done, as you mentioned, on this South Harbor project. So what can the industry do to make better use of it?
It's the industry can. The first thing I would do, and I would say this to all drilling contractors that are Aberdeen based, is to come down and see the port, to look at what can be achieved right there. There's good water good water depths. There's strengthened quaysides, a very large quayside as well. And it's only when you see it do you realise how good this is. I mean, we want to talk about things like reducing emissions. Most of the drilling contractors, if not all of the drilling contractors, are Aberdeen based. So maybe we could spend less time with our project managers, our rig managers, the rig teams, you know, traveling to different locations, whether it's the port of Cromarty Firth, whether it's Dundee, Hartlepool, Yarmouth, you know, reduce the emissions, drive 15 minutes, and then it's right there. But it's, you know, on top of that, it's closer to the fields that they work on. And that's the biggest part. There's lesser transit times, and there's, again, it's the whole supply chain's already established. So the whole industry can be almost self-sufficient by coming right there.
It's going to be really interesting to see what further projects we see in the work that you're going to do with Noble, the further projects we're going to see out of the Port of Aberdeen and the South Harbor moving forward. It'll be very fascinating. Thank you for giving us a little bit of insight into what's going on there and the work that you guys are doing. We'll be looking forward to seeing more from Semco Maritime in the future. Thank you.
No problem, Stephen. Thank you.
And thank you for visiting Drilling Contractor.